So I was just putting my makeup on this morning and knew that it was time to literally come down here, come downstairs as I was making my cuppa and just turn the video on and reconnect with you all. I know that at some stage you have plugged in your name and your email address into my list because you have wanted to know more and you've wanted to connect with me, which is awesome. And so I just wanted to share with you what's been going on, what's been happening. And I think it's been about 12 months or so since I've reconnected with you all. And I think it's really important to just in that moment, as I was upstairs, in that moment to just come down and just share with you in a very authentic way while I was making my cuppa, which I've got here, a very authentic way, what has actually been happening and what has been going on. Oh, that's good. So let me share with you 2019. We all said, and I know that you would most probably nod, 2019 you would say, well, it's going to be the end of an era, the end of a decade. And as we roll into 2020, things are going to be a whole lot different. 2020, I see the vision. 2020 is going to be an amazing year. Like it's just everything, a whole new chapter, a whole new book opening, a whole new decade. And with what I know now, with everything that I've accumulated, with all of my knowledge and skills, and especially my experiences, 2020 is just going to be a knockout year leading into a whole new decade. And I remember saying that to myself when New Year rolled in. Wow, hasn't it been a year? 2020, when I'm here in Australia, I'm from Australia, and when you look at the year that we've had, it all started in January with our bushfires and the chaos and the uncertainty that created for us here in Australia, the visions that we saw on television, the visions of affected people, their houses being burnt to the ground, and how that affected us as a community, us here in Australia, psychologically, emotionally, it really did impact us. And then, oh my goodness, March rolls over and COVID hits. So we have complete chaos, not just here in Australia, but chaos around the world with this level of uncertainty that hit us in March of this year with COVID. And I remember in those first couple of weeks how everything we knew to be certain in our world all of a sudden became uncertain. And here in Australia and around the world, for us it was into isolation, into lockdown, borders closing, and borders are still closed right now currently. So all of a sudden, all of those things that we wanted to aspire to, for example, travel, a lot of us, especially as we get older, as soon as children leave the home, and you sort of see that retirement or that time to be able to go and do all the things that we want to do, all of a sudden we're put into isolation, and all of a sudden borders and countries are closing, and therefore travel is no longer a possibility. This is something that we've never ever experienced before in our lifetime, or never ever seen. And so the psychological shift that has happened in those months has been extreme and very dramatic. We've gone from being quite comfortable about maybe retirement, maybe just sort of thinking, well, I do have some retirement funds, some retirement savings, I have my home. You've gone from that to people literally with maybe 5 to 10 years to go in their career or their profession, to being completely uncertain about the future and about everything that we know is certain. So after taking a step back, you look at the last 12 months, and for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people out there, it could be seen as the worst 12 months ever. Yet somehow it can be the best 12 months ever. Now, I remember what happened with GFC. I remember back in 2008, 2009, and again, it was one of the most dramatic things that created chaos around the world. People losing their jobs, thousands of people losing their jobs, and yet out of that presented opportunities. And for me in particular, I capitalized on that space of real estate investing, and just taking advantage of certain opportunities that clearly presented themselves in that moment. I was equipped because I'd educated myself, I'd put myself through training, I'd self-learned, self-developed, and as a result of that was well equipped to be able to recognize and identify those opportunities that presented themselves in that moment. And out of that was born a business that ran and still running for the last 10 to 12 years. And it was all down to, massive global shift, massive shifts made in countries, economic downturns, and the chaos, the uncertainty, and the fear that was happening around the world created and opened up opportunity for those that were prepared, that could actually identify it. So what I am saying here, and I feel really strongly about this, is as a result of this massive shift here that we're going through in 2020, there is masses of opportunity and potential that will unfold as a result of what's been going on. And again, the question has to be asked: how are you equipping yourself? How are you training yourself? What knowledge and skills are you acquiring that's going to all of a sudden allow you to identify opportunities or possible ideas that will be able to be turned into your next future venture, project, or business idea? And I feel really strongly about this because it's about what are you doing in these moments of isolation, in these moments of self-reflection and deliberation. What are you doing, rather than sitting on the lounge and watching the Netflix? And I'm doing it. I've done it. However, there is a better utilization of that time to ensure that you come out the other side of this stronger, more empowered, with that ability to have choice, which we feel at the moment choice is being taken away. It's a big thing. People do go to look for business opportunities. They go to look for things when they know that their choice is being taken away. What is happening and what is opening up, there's a clear demand for coaching, coaching others, coaching individuals. And what is certain now is people's understanding and knowledge of how close we are globally, geographically. And people are now understanding the importance of platforms like Zoom technology, Microsoft Teams, and we are now connecting through these platforms, through this medium of technology. And what is happening is people are, you see it. I'm seeing on television all the time with celebrities opening themselves up to their homes are being opened up to us. They're delivering their music through Zoom. And so that acceptance now is now again creating opportunity for those that can see it and identify it, and coaching people through these times that we're in, and coaching people through different circumstances that they might be in. You have the expertise, you have the skills, you have the knowledge, you have the stories, especially the experiences, and even the passion to be able to show or share with people how you got through certain circumstances, how you got through certain obstacles or challenges. And this is what people are after now. People are wanting, they're finding, they're searching. YouTube, which is our biggest search engine, that's what people are searching for, ways to overcome problems and challenges right now. And you can be that person at the other end of that question to provide the solution for them. Coaching a billion-dollar industry, billion-dollar business now, and everyone is well equipped to become a coach because it all comes down to their very own unique perspective. It comes down to who they are, the experiences they've had. The biggest challenge for you to deliver that to your audience is the ability to pull it out of you. So that becomes the biggest challenge. It was my challenge. I always knew that I had so many incredible skills and value and experience that I could give to others. I just had the challenge of not knowing how to provide it. And so in the last 12 months, what I have done is developed a process, a model that does that. And I have been working with a group of members that have done exactly the same, and created something, created the thing, created what we've turned into a training course or a training program that is delivered online to audiences that connect with the problems that you had or they had, and they want a solution to it, and you have that solution. And there are so many things out there that you've experienced and that you've had challenges with that people want answers to. But like I said, the biggest challenge is how to parcel it, how to package it, how to pull it out, how to create something around that. And this process over the last 12 months that I have developed, it creates a training program or a training course that can simply be put online, and then attracting your audience. Through attracting the right audience, you can then sell that or market that to that audience. And you're providing value, you're providing solutions. It's just incredibly powerful. You know the value that you have. You know that you've sort of had these words looping around in your head saying, you know what, I'm just worth more, or I have so much more value that I can provide to people. I just don't know how to deliver it. And I've developed this process now in the last 12 months of how to deliver it. Now, when developing this, it literally took an hour and a half a week. An hour and a half a week of my dedicated, committed time to completely focus on developing the program. And I can share that with you. It's just, and think about that. If you dedicate 6 months, 3 months of your time, an hour and a half a week, to developing an online training or program that's going to help people with solutions, that's not a lot of time. And you can be developing that with a full-time career, children, running a home, running projects, running around with what you have to do. But you do have that time in isolation right now. How are you spending that time? An hour and a half a week to develop and create a program or a package that's going to give you financial certainty and give you stability. We don't have that anymore in this world. We don't have the certainty. We don't have stability. And even with, we notice it here in Australia, Virgin, what's happened there, Virgin Australia, the flight companies, the travel companies. I mean, it's just shocking what's going on there, and people would never have ever thought or guessed that these huge organizations would be on their knees as they are at the moment. And I think people are scared and people are terrified, and they want they're looking for certainty. Not only can you find it for yourself, but you can deliver it to others. And you can deliver it to others by being that beacon of light, being that solution for them during these troubled times. I mean, do you feel trapped? Do you feel trapped in a situation that you want to be out of, and you have wanted to get out of in years? And what has happened is this situation with COVID has just not allowed that to happen. Do you feel anxiety as you feel that the financial walls around your security and stability are starting to crumble? I know that we in this country, we do have a financial safety net in place at the moment. However, there is this looming date in the calendar when we know that financial net, that financial security will be actually taken away. And so is there a level of anxiety that you're feeling right now around things like paying the mortgage or paying the rent, continuing with the children's expenses and also your own expenses as well? Are you feeling that level of anxiety right now? And you're asking yourself the question, how can I overcome this anxiety? I mean, are you feeling hopeless at the moment? Is there a feeling of hopelessness? You might have family members that are completely dependent on you, dependent on your income at the moment. And you're sort of feeling like, stressed, and this feeling of not having a choice. You have to do what you have to do to just make ends meet and to make sure that there is some sort of security and stability within your household. That can be a drain, right? That feeling of dependency and everyone depending on you being that important source of income and emotional stability and security. Are you feeling suffocated, like with the questions that keep looping around in your head? Are you feeling suffocated with those questions that come through, and you just never seem to find the answers for them? Because the more tense and the more stress that you have, the less chance you're going to receive answers. So what happens is you have this looping around in your head of questions, and interestingly enough, it's usually the one question or the same question that keeps looping around, but just in different ways and different contexts. Is that going on? Is that happening? Are you feeling frustrated? Is there a level of frustration going on because you know that you have value, you know that you have skills and knowledge, you know that you have value to provide to others? However, you just are frustrated because you just don't know how to get that information out there. You don't know how to provide that value. You don't know a way of being able to even generate revenue or income based on that value that you have. Are you feeling fear? Is there fear about where the world is going with this chaos and uncertainty? And I think these are two really good words. Chaos and uncertainty is what we're seeing at the moment, and every time you turn your television on for the news, that's being displayed and shared with you, and it's just this knowing that there is no one out there, regardless of their experience and profession, no one has the answers, and that is really such a heightened level of uncertainty right now. So the only way that you can give yourself any sort of reprieve from what is going on right now, from that uncertainty, chaos, volatility, is to let it go. is to let it go and know that you cannot control anything that is external to you. You have no control over that. The only thing that you have control over is what's going on internally. To know that you can create certainty from all of those things that you've acquired over all of those years. And it's not materially, it's not materialistically, it's not those things around you that you can touch and feel. Everything, every bit of certainty that you have at the moment is what's inside of you. And like I said, over the years of us burying or putting on facades or us covering up or pushing down our emotions or forgetting. I mean, there's, in a lot of circumstances, we forget these powerful, moving experiences that we've had, especially when we've had to overcome certain challenges and problems. We forget them, and it takes a process to extract those golden nuggets from you, to extract them and put them in such a way that's going to provide solutions and answers to other people. That is where certainty is. That is where it is. That is where you will find hope. You will find adventure or fun or just certainty, enjoyment, passion. By extracting those golden nuggets, it's in those nuggets that you find a sense of empowerment, which is such a strong word, independence and empowerment. One of my big values there is independence. And I remember saying to myself, this was back in 2005, that I would like to build a financial wall around my family that nothing or no one can get through. And that's been my mission since 2005. That's why it's so very important. This message here now is about that. It is about building a financial wall around your family that nothing or no one can get through. So like I said, it takes a process. That process is a way of being able to pull it out of you and to be able to parcel it up and then present it in such a way that people will connect with it, but people will also purchase it or buy it because they want hope, they want empowerment, they want a way to be able to move forward with certainty, and you can provide that for them. And so it does take a process to be able to do that. And that process is what I've discovered over the last 12 months, working on myself, but also working with others to be able to create and do the same thing for them. So you just need to know where to start and how to start. That's simply it. You just need to know where and how. This last year has been incredibly powerful to be able to create a training product, a training course, 1.5 hours a week, that's all it took, and a course that sells, right? You want to be able to know that once you put that course out there to the world, you want to know that it's going to sell and it's going to bring you in revenue, and it's going to do that automatically, and you don't have to be with the different time zones around the world. You know that something in Germany is going to sell while you're sleeping at night. You know that somebody is going to be able to connect with you, connect with your program, and to be able to utilize it while you're asleep at home. So that ability to be able to automate your training program, your knowledge and your skills and your value, to be able to automate that and know that somebody can be up training at home whilst you're laying in bed at night is so incredibly powerful. And it also utilizes a term I call as leverage, being able to leverage your time, the ability to be able to get your message out to the masses, to many, many people. And you don't have to be physically there. It's such a powerful thing. And it's called leverage. It's a term that I've used in real estate and real estate investing throughout my whole journey of investing. And here, leverage, you can use the internet to leverage yourself and to be able to create lots of certainty for your own self. And like I said, build that financial wall around your family. So the training program that I've created is called Build Your AU, and it is build your authority, your audience, and your authenticity through your own story. And it's your own story. There's no need to be going off and learning something new. I mean, how many times have we said to ourselves, well, I've got to upskill, I've got to gain a new qualification. You think to yourself, oh my goodness, really, I've got to go through all that again. Maybe another year of studying 2, 3, 4 days a week, just trying to fit in that study time. And studying things that there might be a small piece of it that you really enjoy, but the rest of it you don't enjoy. So you're forced to do this qualification just to find a new career or a new profession, something new that's going to give you that certainty and that financial reward, or not even the financial stability. However, you're doing a whole lot of stuff that you don't enjoy doing just to get a little piece of it that you do enjoy. Spend some time, thinking about your own story and your own value. It's already there. It is already there, and you can simply impart that to others and educate and train and share with people how you achieved certain things and how you aspired to certain things in your life and how you overcome, like I said, those challenges and problems in life. You can do that. You can do that through your own story, your own value, your own skills, and your own knowledge that you already have, rather than acquiring any more. So it's build your AU, build your authority, build your audience, and build your authenticity through your story. Very simple process, an hour and a half a week. And at the end of that, you're going to have something that you'll be extremely proud of, and something that you will think to yourself, wow, how did I even get, like when you look back, you'll think, how far have I come as a result of the time that hour and a half that I've dedicated per week, and to create something incredibly powerful, to provide value to many around the world. It's pretty exciting. It really is. And it gives you hope moving forward that 2020 was just, a turning point in your life, an opportunity that presented itself, and you took a chance. You decided that now is the time to create certainty within my own space and my own world. And with that certainty, create certainty for my family as well. Now, if this is something that, you would, after listening to me with my cuppa around the breakfast table here this morning, if this is definitely something that you would like to explore more, I've got a bit of an extract of a mastermind series that you can get access to if you click the button that's been provided to you below. If you click that button, you're going to get access to my 9-day video series, and it's a webinar process where I take members through a bit of a process of masterminding, and it's a way of extracting out of them their own story and their own problems and challenges. And it just shares with you how I hand the webinar, it's a webinar process, and I hand it over to them so they can create their own authority. And it just gives you some insights onto how I work and how I operate. The first two, I have a guest speaker come in, but also he's creating his own authority model with the skills and the expertise that he has as well. And by allowing him to run that webinar, so each one you'll see a member pretty much running their own webinar, and they're creating their own authority in this space, and that's how they build their training program and create their content. So click on that button below and you will get access to my 9-day video series, which will give you some great insights. So if you're wondering how to get started, I'm going to, over the next few days, send you some more emails giving you a little bit of a breakdown around those three pillars: authority, audience, and authenticity. But if you're ready to get started now, I've actually got a discounted price, and it's going to be very limited. I'm going to provide you, because you guys have been on my list for a long time, and you've been getting my information. As a result of that, I'm going to provide a link here that gives you a discounted price. It's normally $495, but you get $150 off for a very limited time only. You get access to some amazing content, live webinars each week of the program that I've been developing over the last year. And it gives you step-by-step process on how you too can create your own training program, training course online that can be automated and generate you sales to give you certainty into the future. So more than anything, whatever choice you do take, just stay safe, stay well, and I really do look forward to working with you in the future. Forgot to tell you, I better go upstairs, go and get changed, and what I will do is also share with you the authority, audience, and authenticity. I'll give you some more information based around those three pillars. So off I go, off to get changed. Bye everyone.